What's going on, babe?
Hey, babe. How was your day?
It was actually pretty productive. Happy to be home.
Good. You know, we got a game today. Honey, a little rough around the edges.
I'm saying I've been working all night, taking care of business, getting to the... You know what? I don't even want to talk about it. I got you. I'm not trying to be out here looking like a dusty, and that's why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They help me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which come with all of the basics: a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price and the ability to customize your box. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal. Just click the first link in the description. You'll get 30% off your first box plus a free gift. Click the link and get started today. We're taking care of ourselves. Self-care, fellas, is the first step to be able to get to that bag, to take care of business, and be on top of things and level up in every aspect of your life. Feel the Tiege, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. You got to excuse me. I got a lot of sun in my eye, but I'm not complaining about it because I'm chilling. Life is good. Life is awesome. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. So I'm going to personally keep the sun in my eye simply because I like great weather. Dallas is awesome. The view in the back of me, like when you look at all, I'm in the corner suite. So when you look at all of that over that way, it's absolutely gorgeous. Everything is absolutely beautiful. First thing that I do when I touch down in any city, including my own place at the crib, is I'll open up the windows. I sleep with the windows wide open. I let the sun wake me up. You know what I'm saying? So it's a great time. It's a great day. It's an awesome time to be alive. So what's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. You know that when I'm out of town, I use a different software to stream. So you're going to have to bear with the lower tier streaming as far as having to use this software versus being able to control how it is and I'm interacting with you guys on a regular basis. Who all from Dallas? I see y'all in it. Trail 5 says Dallas is one of the cities I'm looking to move to. Let me see what y'all talking about. What up, Kojak? Florida boy. Stephen Day is in the building. What's up, all of my friends? Big Suggs. I'm looking to see who from Dallas. Jeffrey Woodland says, good morning, sir Anton. Good morning to the chat. Noble Xavier, bag chasers assemble. It's Monday. It feel like a Tuesday. Don't it feel like a Tuesday? What up, Spaces? What up, beautiful disaster? Heather Woods is in the building. Philip Robinson is in the building. What's happening? Let me see. Marcel, Brandy, Kev, Bag Talk or No Talk. What up, though? What's going on, friends? What's happening, everybody in the building? Let me see. I said Dallas. They say I'm trying to enjoy the sun before the winter hit. I changed the weather, baby. Read it back there, cosign and everything I'm saying, talking about okay. They said you use that Tiege Hanley. Tiege Hanley, sponsor of the show. Shout out to the Tiege. Feel the Tiege, my friends. What's up, the Tiege Hanley, sponsor of the show? Let me see who else in here. Kevin Bauer says Dallas is great. I just hate the traffic. They said they love the back. What up, Tony? What's happening? We're going to have a phenomenal show today. Good morning. Feels like a Tuesday to me too, see? It felt like a Tuesday for me too. Checking in from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, everybody in the chat, Shout out to AP1804. It says, hey, Anton, what's good? You definitely an inspiration, bro. I'm going through your Patreon for that game. Hey, if y'all not a part of the Patreon, and shout out to Tony, says the Daniels are official Floridians. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. So let me tell you what I got coming up for the Patreon real quick. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. So I dropped the Patreon exclusive video Saturday. Shout out to Pretty Boy 79 says, let us know when you make it to North Carolina. I am going to be hitting Charlotte. I got to see what the weather like in Charlotte, but Charlotte is definitely on my short list of places to tap into. Service USA says, I have students that I teach in Dallas. Nice place. Get these likes up. I haven't really explored Dallas the way that I want to yet, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. So housekeeping out of the way, as far as the Patreon is concerned, I dropped a video yesterday. Was that yesterday that I dropped that video, Rita? Yep. Yeah, I dropped that video yesterday. So I just dropped a Patreon exclusive video yesterday. So make sure that y'all tap into that because it is a very, 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 very important video and message that I'm trying to convey to my people to let them know what it is that we're doing going forward and what the mindset should be as you move forward. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, there is no better time to join the Patreon than right now. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Secondly, I am going to be dropping 2 new videos this week in the Patreon. I dropped one yesterday, and then I'm dropping 2 more this week. And I'm going to give you guys an update. So the plan is, and it's not set in stone yet, but what we're planning, the plan is, Demetrius says, Charlotte, what up, though, Demetrius? I got a lot of people all over America that I rock with. The plan is to have a Patreon meetup and do a New Year's Eve thing down in Miami. So we're going to all change the weather. And I'm going to give you an update with that. So I might drop 3 videos this week because I like to do my updates as far as videos. So we're going to drop 3 different videos this week. One is going to be exclusive. The second one is going to be an update. And the third is going to be an exclusive interview that I got coming up. So I'm in Dallas right now, and I'm shooting 2 interviews with 2 different people. I'm shooting 2 different interviews, and I'm no longer going to tell y'all who I'm shooting interviews with, but I'm shooting 2 different videos with 2 different people, and it is going to be incredible. Incredible. So all of that stuff goes straight into the Patreon. Y'all know what it is. I like to pour into y'all. See you, Rita. Have a good day. Rita's going out to lunch with somebody important right now. One of the reasons why it's important to be married, because while I'm here live streaming, Rita is over there making connections and doing what it is that she needs to do on my behalf in order to make sure that we're doing better business. One of the important because it always comes back to the money. For me, marriage is a business first. Send that chick out there to go and get them bags. Send that chick out there to go and get them resources. Send that chick out there to go and bring back that money. Send that chick out there to network effectively. If you are sitting and looking at a woman as just something that you can bust down, and I went skinny dipping last night. I did. If you look down there, I can look right down at the pool. Anton was in the pool having a good time, making sure that we do what we do. And I was doing a little bit of skinny dipping. I can't be showing y'all that. I was doing a little bit of work last night. You know what I'm saying? Because I do what I do every day. Every day I do what I do, right? But more importantly, a woman is a Swiss Army knife. Let me just break this down before we get into the Stephen A. Smith thing, because you're going to see the difference between a woman that is combative and a woman that is submissive, right? A woman that is submissive is all the women that I have in my presence. Shout out to Onyx, says Grand Rising. Gems. Hello, Rita and Anton, just showing support from one of the best channels on the tube. Shout out to Onyx Monopoly. We love you, baby girl. We love all of our bag chasers. We love all of our flowers. We love all of the people that continue to pour in us because we're going to pour into you first. Thank you, love. Shout out to Onyx. Shout out to Shannon. Shout out to Beautiful Disaster. Shout out to all of my ladies and everybody that's a bag chaser. We love you. Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the platform. Let me give you a breakdown, fellas. First of all, you're doing yourself a disservice by looking at a woman from a sexual perspective first. I'm going to be honest with you. I genuinely genuinely don't care about your box. I know that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for some people, but I'm just giving you the real. I genuinely don't care about your box. I care nothing about it. I like your femininity. I like your demeanor. I like the way that you move. I like your intelligence. I like your submissiveness. I love your ability to be able to communicate effectively. I love it when you be a woman. I don't hang around a lot of guys. I surround myself with beautiful, gorgeous, awesome women. And beauty starts from the inside first. I surround myself with beautiful, gorgeous, awesome women. And maybe I am just crazy out of my mind, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is that I look at women as one of the greatest tools and resources on the face of this planet. Now, the thing that y'all gonna have to understand when you're talking about women, right? And shout out to y'all. I'm gonna come back to the super chat shortly. I'm marking them off. The thing that y'all don't understand about women is that it could be your greatest asset or your worst nightmare. And that's just like anything. Like when you think about a power tool, or when you think about stuff that you use in order to do some of the most efficient things in society, the cranes that we use to build these tall buildings out here in Dallas, right? The industrial lawnmowers that we use in order to manicure our lawns and our grass, right? The wood cutters that we use in order to tear down a lot of these trees, even the stump removers. I mean, every single major tool that you can use, the internet that we're having a conversation on, the tongue that's in our mouths, it can be used to be just as destructive as it is productive. And there is no greater weapon or tool in your arsenal than the woman that you are surrounded by or that you land next to every single day. If you have an army of women, you can literally take over the world. If you have an army of women, you can literally take over the world. But it first requires for you to look at them and recognize them as the Swiss Army knife that they are. If you're only using them to cut bread, you got a Swiss Army knife, but you pulling it out just to cut bread, which is the equivalent of busting her down and getting your nut off, then you're doing yourself a disservice because you're not even utilizing all of the tools that you have in order to really win. Why would I look at her as just as a butter knife? Why would I use her in the same way that I would use a butter knife when I can use her as a Swiss Army knife? I can use this thing to do anything. I can take over the whole world by putting that battery in her back, by first being the man that I have to be, and then using her in order to really take over the world. Why am I focused on her pussy when I can be focused on her mind and then weaponizing everything that God blessed her with? Because I'm gonna just tell you, a weak man stands no chance in the face of me, because all I'm gonna do is empower that woman to overtake what he got going on and then bring him into me the way that I need him done. Like, I'm going to empower this woman to then take over the mind of this sucker over here that don't even know that the deal that he's doing has nothing to do with the fact that he's doing a deal with me. It has everything to do with the fact that he was enamored with the woman that came into his presence way before I even got there. Sometimes y'all don't even know that the women that y'all talking to is aligned with me. And then I'm just coming in and closing and sealing the deal. I don't have to say that she with me. I don't have to say that this woman over here, and it's more than just Rita. It's the women that work with me, work for me, everybody. You don't even know that the woman that you oogling over literally works for me, and the deal that you're going to do and the better deal that I'm going to have is going to be as a result of your weakness and your inability to see the power of a woman and how she has dominion over you because you can't control yourself and your dick discipline is not existent. I'm just trying to tell you, this is real. Women are dope. You see that plane flying in the back? Look at y'all, Dallas. I see y'all looking good. Women are dope. They are the most beautiful, deadly, phenomenal, awesome creatures in this world. And the first step, I'm going to give you a clue. because you have no clue. The first step in you empowering her is to not look at her as an object. Stop looking at her for her box. I got it. I know this is a morning show, so I got to be a little bit more careful. We about to get into the Stephen A thing. The minute that you can control your cock is the minute that you can then empower them, because then they can operate without having to worry about being objectified. They can move in confidence. They don't have to worry about every time that you next to them that you sizing them up and trying to undress them with your eyes. They don't have to tiptoe around you. Now they can be free. Now they can be empowered. Now they can be feminine. Now they can really, really work for you. And then they rock with you and they learn to really love you. It's too much. It's too much game. This is too much sauce for y'all. Too much sauce, because everything that y'all talking about has to do about whether or not this woman is going to be this. And it's too much sauce for you. As a matter of fact, if you want to find a wife, then first have a conversation with a woman without objectifying her, because then she's going to love you and embrace you much more, because she already want to rock with you. She just want to know in her mind that you're there for the right reasons. And then after that, she gonna fall in love with you. She fell in love with the fact that you have the right mentality. She already wanted to rock with you. All you had to do is give her a reason to get comfortable. And now that you made her comfortable, now that she looks at you and understands that you're not there for just her box, she'll give you her life. She will give you everything. There is nothing off the table. She will run to the ends of the earth for you, because she knows that you love and you respect her and you want the best for her. And as long as she want the best, you want the best for her, she'll give her life to you, because she knows that she's protected under you. When women say they're looking for provision and protection under a man, they're looking for a man to empower them. And then they will give you everything, understanding that the best version of you is the best version of them. But if you can't see past your dick, then you're never going to be able to understand the power that you have with dealing with women. They want to be used. They love to be used. They embrace being used. They're there to be used. That's why God said they a helpmeet. That's their creation. They were created to be used in a positive way. But as long as you just focusing on this one thing, she like, dang, I got arms, legs, breasts, a good brain. I'm feminine, I'm soft, I smell good and all of this. And this is all you looking to get out of me? That's all you want? And you looking like, yeah, that's all I want. I'm an imbecile. I'm a nincompoop. She like, take advantage of me. Look at me. And you like, yeah, let me get that box. And she communicating to you without even communicating to you, because what comes out of her mouth versus what it is that she's trying to say to you is two different things. And so you so busy fumbling the bag. Shout out to Ime Udoka. And now you done ruined everybody's life, because your inability to be able to control yourself would be your greatest asset and weapon, then empowering the women around you to be successful. But you so busy trying to sleep with your bosses or your coworker's wife that you don't even realize that that guy and that woman could have been one of your greatest allies. Man, that's the difference between you and I. That's going to be the difference between success and failure. But let's get into the show. Game too heavy. Game is too heavy. You still can't see past your dick. Every time a chick walk past you, you got to do like this. All you got to do is keep your head straight, fam. And when she talk, actually pay attention to what she say. She'll respect you. Keep it moving. You got an asset and an ally for life. All you got to figure out is what her greatest asset is. Shout out to my girl 6. Just brought her in, took care of her. Hey, Rita Time said, I'm back home feeling inspired and motivated. Y'all took such good care of me. Love you. You hear 6? 6 will tell you. 6 will tell you. 6 is my baby. Do you know how powerful it is to have a 6 standing next to you, literally a goddess in real life from head to toe, all you got to do is make sure that she good and she taken care of, and she will multiply what it is that you have and bring it back times 1,000. She will multiply what you have and bring it back past 1,000. Just try not to slap her butt when she walk by, and she gonna be good. I said 6. I hit 6 up. I said, yo, you ready to come to the D? She said, just let me know. I said, I bet. I said, Rita, make sure we take care of our baby girl. Put her on the best flights. Make sure she had the best accommodations. She pays for nothing when she comes here. Nothing. Tell her, don't touch nothing. Don't pull out a wallet. Tell that chick to bring her ID. That's it. Make sure that her dog got accommodations before she ever get to the airport, the whole 9 yards. You know what 6 is going to do? Listen, when 6 is standing next to me, 6 is like, Anton, I will do whatever you tell me to do. And that is a fact. 6 said, Anton, I will do. You just tell me the word, I'm on it. Whatever it is that you say, I'm on it. So talk bad about me in front of 6 and see what happened. Talk bad about me in front of 6 and see what happened. But you niggas can't control y'all dick long enough to actually understand what it is that's in your best interest. And you so busy trying to get this pussy that you can't even. Let me stop. It's the morning show. Shout out to my girl 6. Shout out to my baby girl 6. Y'all better. Anyways, keeping it moving. So let's get into the show. Shout out to all of my people. Let me tap into some of these super chats. Again, shout out to Onyx Monopoly. I appreciate you. 6 is my baby girl also. Philip Sadiq said, I got you, Time Dog. PJ Austin, shout out, says talk heavy. And Aaron L. All facts today. Let's get into the Stephen A. Smith thing right now. Now you're about to see the opposite. Ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Bauer says, I agree with most of what you're saying, but if a female was a known bust down or used to do porn, oh, Jesus. Some extreme circumstance that we have to overcome. But let's answer it. Used to do porn or was a known bust down or used to do porn or have her butt out on the internet. I'm not going to take her serious at all, no matter how dope she is. Well, that's your loss, bro. Because all she needed was a dope dude like me to help her to understand what she really capable of. And as soon as a chick that used to do porn or whatever, so on and so forth, she's still a Swiss Army knife. You just don't understand how to use her effectively. I'm going to let you not look at her that way. And listen, send her to me. Send her to Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I'm going to get her right. I'm going to put her in that good position, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that she become a part of the bag chasers because I see the value in her. Baby girl, if you used to do porn and you used to get buzzed down, come to Anton from AntonDaniels.com. If you don't want them all in your videos, all in your songs, come to Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Come over here to Death Row. Shout out to Demetrius. Says, what up, Anton? Do you recommend co-ops or internships while in college? I recommend internships. Come to Death Row. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want them all in your videos, if they looking to get some kind of internal respect for you, baby girl, come to Death Row. I'm going to make sure I clean you up and get you right. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get into the show. So, Malika Andrews, I believe that was her name. Malika Andrews. Let me share the video and we're going to break it down. We're not even going to talk about it heavy. We're going to break it down. Onyx, Death Row was Suge Knight. Don't worry about it. Come to Anton from AntonDaniels.com. We're going to make sure that you get taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Robinson says, I made more money with my homegirl that does OnlyFans because I put her in some marketing game that she didn't know. $20,000 a month split. Bag talk or no talk. Shout out to my dog, Jeff Liscombe. Says, thanks for bringing the cooler weather to Dallas. Y'all had a storm yesterday, but it stopped right before I landed. Shout out to my dog, Jeff. I appreciate everybody for Death Row is on your channel 6. They don't know what to do with y'all. Listen, they don't know what to do with y'all, ladies. Just come over here to me. I'm going to make sure that y'all get everything that you need in order to be successful. We going to make sure that we take care of y'all. All right, so let me share this video with y'all because I want to break down this video of Malika Andrews. And we got a couple different videos, all right? So this is her responding to Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. Smith was giving his take on the Udoka, Nia Long sleeping with somebody else's chick situation, right? Get the likes up. Get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Sleeping with somebody else's chick. And then Malika Andrews decided that she wanted to give her 2 cents and overtalk Stephen A. Smith on his own show. So we're going to go ahead and break that down and we're going to get into it. Let's rock.
Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me.
Now, the first thing that you have to notice in this conversation is Stephen A. Smith's willingness to entertain this foolishness in the first place. Stephen A.'s willingness to entertain this foolishness in the first place. Okay? He's calm. He's cool. He's listening. He knows she's wrong. He's calm. He's cool. He's listening, although he knows she's wrong. Now, the first rule of Fight Club is that you don't talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club, we changed it up a little bit. All we ask is that you be able to substantiate your argument. When you're having conversations with people that don't know anything, the best thing that you can let them do is talk. Let me run that back for you one more time for those of you that don't understand. The first thing that you should do when you're having a conversation with somebody that don't know nothing and they a fool is to let them talk, because they will do more damage to themselves than you ever could, because all you got to do is hand them the rope. They going to tie it around their neck and then they're going to jump off the bridge and they're going to hang themselves. So what you see right now and what you're witnessing from Malika Andrews is her trying to G-check a G. Now, I don't always agree with everything that Stephen A. Smith says, but let's be clear. It is his show, and he is the highest paid on the network, and he is a G for all intents and purposes as a result of this conversation. But let's continue.
I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary.
Now, you know what the problem with this argument is? And I'm going to tell you the one point that I have not hit on. I've done multiple videos breaking this down. I talked about how Ime Udoka and me and Six had a really interesting conversation about it as a part of our recording that I'm going to release to the Bag Chasers. You know, the interesting thing about this whole situation as we mine through it, we broke it down from Nia Long's perspective. We talked about how he fumbled the bag and how he shouldn't have been sleeping around. And, you know, even if he was going to cheat, why would you cheat with somebody in an organization that you work for that writes your paychecks? Why didn't you read the agreement that's in your coaching clause that indicates that you shouldn't be doing this in the first place? So on and so forth. We've broken this down from every and which way, but holding accountable the woman that actually cheated on her husband. Now, as far as I know, she still has her job. Hoppo. How does this make sense? As far as I know, she still has her job. Now, the one issue that I have with this, because you know that Anton is an equal accountability smoke giver. Get the likes up, man. The one problem that I have with this whole situation is, why is this hoe being protected? Why is she not being dragged through the mud in the same way that I've been holding Mr. Udoka to the fire? Feet on fire. Why is she not being brought to the front of the congregation? Because we're going to get to Malika. We're going to get to Malika. I call her Malachi. We're going to get to Malika. Why is the chick that cheated on her husband not being brought to the front of the congregation by the organization as much as Mr. Udoka? Why are they being protected? Why does she still have a job? I don't care. I don't care. Because you cannot then make the argument that Malika is making to Stephen A. Smith, saying, why is she not being brought to the front of the congregation? And why are we not holding the organization accountable? Because they're the ones that leaked the information in the first place. Oh, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
Folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more. And short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved. And I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization. And I think that that is something that was clearly necessary in this situation. But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women.
Yes, we are. Oh, that's exactly why we're here. We are absolutely here to further blame women. Just because you are the weaker vessel does not absolve you from being responsible for your actions, ma'am. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to address something that somebody said in the chat, right? She's the executive's wife. She is also alleging SA. You know how I know that that's a lie? You know how I know that that's a lie? Because when this story first broke, the first thing that the Celtics organization said was that he was in a consensual relationship. See, I'm an effective listener. I pay attention to what's being said. That's all rumor that you're talking about because they're trying to spin the narrative in order to save this beautiful white woman. This white woman. Now, you know Anton rock with people based off of the content of their character, but I am not going to sit here and tiptoe around the idea that this white woman can be absolved from her behavior. When they first dropped the content that highlighted what was going on and why he was suspended in the first place, the organization released a statement and said that it was a consensual relationship. So you're not going to sit here and bamboozle me and tell me something different, because if it's a lie, then they told it. If it's a lie, then they told it. They said, you can't sit here and tell me that she's alleging. Because listen, if you start hitting me with that, then now you're going down this Me Too path. And now I'm a really nuker, right? Because now the conversation for me personally is going to shift away from Udoka, and it's going to be completely focused on the Celtics organization and her. If it's a lie, then they told it. They said that it was completely consensual. We not going to spin it around so that we can try to absolve them from responsibility. Women, and especially white women, who were at the forefront movement of this whole feminist narrative that Malika Andrews is speaking about right now, should be held responsible and is just as culpable because nobody made you open up your legs. You opened up your legs, you arched your back, you tooted it up in the air, and then you wanted that BBC. You wanted the BBC. You wanted the BBC. Let's find, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me get some BBC up in it. Let's see who this alleged person is. Now, according to several sources and several news sites, but this is the one that was able to substantiate their argument with actual pictures. We're going to share something else because I want to have this conversation in its entirety. I don't want to halfway do it. I actually want to deep dive into it. So, this is apparently her, allegedly. Her name supposedly is Kathleen Nemo Lynch on the Celtic staff. This is this beautiful Milka Magnesia, allegedly. My snow bunnies, as Dr. Umar Johnson likes to call them, Milka Magnesia. White as the pure driven snow, as them bed sheets that I was sleeping on and them fluffy pillows. Listen, I said, Rita, we gonna have to order a pair of these pillows and have them shipped to the house. This beautiful white woman should be absolved while we hang this 6'9" Mandingo black man. No, not today, Freaky Jason. Not today. So let's see who this woman is, right? According to reports, Kathleen Nemo Lynch. What a last name. What a last name. Okay. Is a Boston Celtics staff member in the basketball operations department. She is coached by Ime, who is said to be the head of the squad. Okay, coached, I bet. And this is according to several sites. I'll drop the link in the description if y'all want it. I'm just reading the information. I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I'm saying allegedly this is what the site is saying. So I'm going to have to make sure that I absolve myself of responsibility because it's the site. It's not my site. It's the site. It's a lot of sites that said it, all right? A lot of sites is breaking it down. Look, I'm going to go forward. I'm going to show you. Multiple different sites. I had Celtics player, look, Patrick Lynch's wife. Who was Patrick? Don't worry, we're going to get there. Who is Patrick? Kathleen Nemo Lynch. That means she's swimming in that black thing. All right, so let's continue. Since he violated the code of conduct with the franchise, he's facing some sort of disciplinary action, blah, 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 blah. This is allegedly her. You see her with her leopard print on? Shout out to DJ Hollywood. The conversation said it's a lack of accountability, bro. Not on this channel. We holding everybody accountable, including our fellow white women. And y'all know I love me some white women. I love white women, black women, Indian women, Asian women. I love them all. 6, listen, y'all gonna see in the conversation that I drop in the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. 6 was holding me accountable. I said, 6, you got all of this smoke. She said, Anton. I said, 6, I love everybody. I don't rock with people based off of the color of their skin. I rock with people based off of the content of their character. She says, when Anton, you naive out in these streets. You are naive out in these streets. I'm going to drop the full interview. No edits. I said, but 6, I love these people. I love black people, white people, everybody. As long as you are a person with good content and good character, I'm rocking with you, 6. 6 said, Anton. I said, okay, well, let's talk about these white women then. I don't mind talking. Let's bring it up a little bit bigger. So let's see. Let's see what she looked like. Let's break it down. I think it's another. Oh, there she is. Oh, yes, it is. Ain't that what the older black women used to say? Oh, yes, it is. Allegedly, that is her. See her with her press pass, with her smile. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely insane. So let's continue. Let's go back to Malika Andrews, who is caping for this woman, trying to protect her when the Boston Celtics organization literally said that this white woman who was getting this BBC, decided that she wanted to take a L or she wanted to take the black train. Let's continue, y'all.
That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very.
Now, you know a dude is upset with you, ma'am, when he hits you with the first of all. And you are not going to raise your voice at Stephen A. Smith. No way, no how. When a dude hits you with the first of all, you know you done effed up and you're not going to raise your voice at me, ma'am. When a dude hits you with the first of all, hold on, let me rewind how she just ended that conversation. Rewind it about 15 seconds.
Whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
Who are you used to talking to with that mouth, ma'am? You know, if my grandmother had witnessed that happen, she would have literally grabbed her by her little. I see you. You think you got a little bit of Indian in you. You know, back when we was in school, these hoes used to say, you know, but I got Indian in my hair. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. I got Indian in my family. Who you talking to with that mouth? Grab that hoe by her hair, get some soap, and wash that mouth out. Who you talking about? Not with that level of authority. Not Malika. Malika. That's not what we doing here with Steven. Nope. Shout out to, oh my God. Y'all talking about she a cream gobbler? Oh, Jesus. Thank y'all for the super chats. All right, with your bad attitude. Now, you know Stephen A is upset when he said first of all, but let's continue.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him.
Now, the problem with Stephen A. Smith is he should be blaming more than just Ime Udoka. But prior to, he hadn't had the full insight and information as to what was going on. Shout out to God of Blackness. We appreciate you for the 20 ball. Thank you to everybody for super chatting, cash apps, and the whole 9 yards. We appreciate y'all. Let's continue.
If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized.
Yep.
The point that I'm trying to make is just
you
like
don't
you're
think
not
someone would
mentioning.
notice if Ime Udoka was not at...
Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening.
Talk to her. Fellas, if you had a little bit more backbone, if you just had a little bit more backbone and shut that, I can't even cuss. I'm trying so hard to expand my vocabulary so that I can cuss. If you had a little bit more backbone and put that chick in your place, she'd respect you. But you just keep talking about happy wife, happy life, and letting that woman talk to you like she ain't got no sense, like she not a guest in your house on your show. I'm sorry, man. Was you trying to interrupt me in my own spot? I promise you, if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that Stephen A. Smith got a coaching call from Kevin Samuels before he passed away. The way he just shut that down. We gonna go back. Hold on.
It's just like you're not mentioning.
Excuse
me. I listened to you.
We don't
You're the
want
one telling me to stop.
We don't want to hear nothing that you got to say. Put your neck and take it off the chicken string because you know she was talking like this. You know she was doing all of this when she was talking on the phone. You don't think that any chick that talks to you like this, I'm going to take the water. Better spray that holy water on that hoe. Get them demons out of my house and take that neck off that chicken string. Get them demons out of my house and take that neck off of that chicken string. Where's the olive oil? For those of y'all that were raised in the church, For those of y'all that were raised in a church, let me tell you what we used to do. Okay. We had this thing, and I don't know if it happened in all small churches, but it certainly happened in small churches in my area. They had what they call blessed oil, and it was olive oil, and they would pray over it, and they would take this oil, and they would open up the thing, and they would do a little bit of this, and then they do that, you know, and then they hit you, try to knock you out, try to knock you over. But then what we did was we took it a little bit further, right? In my church, when they was praying the demons up out of you, they opened up all the doors for the demons to run out of the congregation. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you what we did in our church. Shout out to Courtney Morgan says, bring Tiffany Cross to the congregation. Tiffany Cross needs to come to the front of the congregation. Thank you for the 20 ball. Aaron says she was snatching dreams when she was talking. Get them demons up out of here. They would have grabbed that olive oil. They would have prayed them demons up out of there, open up that door, and then Constantine on that hoe. Hit that hoe with a Constantine. But all right, Stephen A., we're gonna hear what you got to say.
I don't think someone would notice if Ime Udoka was not at...
Excuse me. I listened to you.
Shut it out.
You're the one
right
telling
now.
me to stop on my show.
Shut it down right now.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired or he deserves
Hallelujah.
to be there
Hallelujah.
and handle it internally.
Let him have his
privately.
way, Stephen. Listen, when you shut a chick down like that, you got to hit him with the hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let him have his way. Let him have his way. They only say let him have his way in two different situations. They say let him have his way when you shut something down or when you having a problem with your part in the A, B choir. You know, we got an A selection and a B selection and you messing up, but they telling you to let him have his way because they're trying to get you through the whole thing. Shout out to Real Doable says, some of them want equality up into the point of accountability. All of a sudden they turn into a damsel in distress. Oh, no. You are not removed from the responsibility that comes along with your actions, ma'am. Let's continue.
If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them.
Agreed. Kojak says, I don't know if you got the video of her trying to G-check Kendrick. Oh, we going over that one too today. Harpo, we got the whole conversation. We gonna go over that one too, Harpo. I promise you we gonna go over that one, Kojak. Let's continue.
I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that.
So Stephen A. hit on a point that I literally just highlighted myself. Stephen A. hit on a point that I myself personally just highlighted. And what did I highlight in my point, ladies and gentlemen? What did I highlight in my point? I highlighted specifically that the organization is the one that is responsible for leaking the story in the first place. The first thing that they said is he is suspended for having a consensual, meaning agreed upon relationship by two different parties, and she wanted to get that Gawk 3000. She wanted to give it to him and then let him bust it open. He was in a consensual relationship, and the organization is the one that leaked it. So, if that be the case, then the organization then becomes responsible for what's being communicated. If it was a consensual relationship, that means that she has to be brought to the front of the congregation, and we are not going to absolve them just because you are a woman that is from the mountain of Caucasus. We're not going to absolve you from your responsibility and your contribution into this and ruining your marriage with allegedly 3 kids. 3. You had 3 kids in a marriage. And just because you are a woman and you happen to be from the mountains of Caucasus, I am not going to absolve you of the responsibility that you had in contributing to the downfall of another man's career, which he has to be responsible for himself, but you certainly played into the downfall and the destruction of another man's relationship and career. Take full ownership and accountability for it. We are not going to remove you from responsibility. And this is the beautiful part about being me, is because I can be an equal accountability smoke giver all across the board. I have no strings on me. And so Stephen A is absolutely, positively, 100,000% correct, including shutting that chick down.
And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that.
I am. This is the only problem that I have with Stephen A. Smith, and I understand because he's employed by ESPN, he can't say what it is that Weez over here is thinking. Now, Weez over here, listen, Weez understands you, Stephen A. Smith. You's got that good job. Somebody in the chat said Stephen A. Smith is getting paid the NBA type money for running the network. So we's not gonna tell you, Stephen A. Smith, to mess up your bag by jumping off the bridge. We's get it. You's got that good air. You's got that good money. Those good white folks over there at Disney and ESPN is paying you the types of money that is life changing over there. So I don't have any problems with you sleeping in the White House. You's a good man to me, Stephen A. Howsoever, the one's problem that we's over here that ain't getting no ESPN money have is we's not gonna let that white woman that's been over there sleeping with that black man over there that comes from the mountains of Caucasus get away with ruining somebody else's family. Nia Long has every right to go over there and snatch that hoe head up and mollywop that hoe if she did. But I just believe that Nia Long is too classy for that. We don't give some of these women that have not done anything except for hold they man down any credit. And we also don't allow ourselves to also hold people accountable from the mountains of Caucasus that has ruined relationships and marriages and possibly even destroyed households, because that young boy, them kids, they got to go to school tomorrow, or they might have to be removed from school tomorrow. They probably going to be completely shattered, uprooted, and destroyed because they were supposed to go to a good school, a good one school over there in Boston. And you probably sold your house over there so you can move your families over there to Boston. But this white woman then decided that she wanted to arch it back and get that BBC, and now we don't want to hold her accountable for it. Either we protected her, shout out to Freaky Jason is in the building. Shout out to Freaky Jason in the building. Nia Long is in Boston now. I'll have to console her. I got to have a meetup in Boston. They love me out in Boston, yo. They love me out in Boston. You know what I'm saying? You know what's so funny? I'm going to be honest with y'all. We're going to continue with this video. There's so many people spamming, acting like they me. People creating fake accounts on Instagram, on YouTube, all of this other kind of junk. I guess I made it, huh? My dog hit me up this morning. I had a prominent NFL player hit me up this morning, said, Anton, I like what you got going on there. I'm going to have to tap in with you when you come back to Dallas because I know you got a limited amount of time that you got stuff popping in with me. Shout out to all of my NFL players. New collabs are coming soon. Make sure y'all tapped into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let's continue.
I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make. I'm not trying to attack anybody. And if anybody deserves to be attacked, it's Ime Udoka for putting himself in this position.
That is true. But we also need that hat woman to come to the front of the congregation, ma'am.
I've made that very clear. I'm just talking about you got owners and everybody else. They know the kind of stuff that's going on. You didn't say anything about anybody else. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. They didn't say anything about everybody else.
I'm talking about you, Malika. Malika, I'm talking about you, ma'am. How dare you come on another man's show trying to clout chase and check Stephen A. Smith? As though you even know what it's like to be a man in a position of power. You probably just got to your position just because somebody wanted to throw you into the diversity inclusion program. You're not even that great of a reporter. You're not even that great of a reporter. Listen, fellas, let's be honest. Let's just get the cat out of the bag because I care nothing about these women whatsoever. If you are not a part of my Dora Myalgia or whatever it is that they call them in Wakanda, I'm not tripping off of you. Let's be honest. We don't care about any woman that is reporting on sports in the first place. We never even asked you to come onto the program. We don't even care. We don't tune in for you. We tune in for Shannon. We tune in for Skip Bayless. We tune in for Stephen A. Smith, Kendrick Perkins. We look up to Steven Jackson, which I don't even like Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes. We are not tuning in to see Malika in the first place. What made you think that you can insert your voice into the realm of sports talk? Because you should just be happy to be there. You should just be happy to be included into the conversation and have an opportunity to give your take. We don't care about what women have to say about sports. You know what I was reading this morning? Because no, let's just let it all out. Let's get the cat out the bag. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith for not letting baby hairs fool him at all. Let's be clear though. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's get straight to it. Let's talk all the way about it. Let's talk all the way about it. Huh? We gonna get into it? We gonna break it down or we gonna break it down? Let's be clear. They dropped a story, and I've been seeing if it's getting any traction before I even mention it on this show, that WNBA players, let me share it. I had it up here. I said, let me just keep this just in case, because for some reason, I think that this is going to come up. I don't even know if here it is. Watch this. Look, you know I'm on it. They dropped this story right here. Let me blow it up for you. Top WNBA players are turning down high salaries and opting not to play in Russia to protest and Brittany Griner's imprisonment, eyeing other countries like Turkey and Hungary instead. Tell me one person who cared. Tell me one person who cared about anything that any of these women are doing over in the WNBA. If you want to talk about equal, why don't you equally build up your own sport? Because nobody gives a flying F about what these 304s are doing. Tell me anybody who was tripping over the fact that these chicks decided that they didn't want to go and play in Russia. Anybody, somebody, anybody. We don't care. Listen, we love you. We think that you are soft, awesome, feminine. I called y'all Swiss Army knives that are phenomenal and sharp and cuts on both sides of the field and all of that other type of stuff. But let's be honest and let's be clear. We don't care about seeing women in men's sports unless you are a cheerleader. Unless you are going, hey, B, it's okay. Unless you're doing all of that on the sideline, we don't want to see you. We don't want to see you coaching us. We don't want to see you talking about it and reporting on it. We don't want to see you doing anything except for either cheerleading or looking pretty on the sidelines. We don't care. So the fact that she even has a seat at the table in the first place is a blessing. Is a blessing. Be thankful for it. I promise to God, I'm thinking about buying some tickets to go and see an NBA basketball game, and I'm going to buy the whole front row for like $72. I'm going to buy the whole front row for $72 because you can't pay nobody to take them tickets. And that is real. It don't get no realer than that. Aaron says they got WNBA players drinking 40-ounce Michelob Light after they won the ship. They couldn't even get the cheap champagne. Malika was trying to show her power like she does over her white boy toy Malika has on ESPN. Oh, y'all ain't telling me that Malika was over there with a hat, man. Aaron says they could have said he had a season-ending surgical procedure and kept all of this under wraps, or just fire him. This is sloppy all around. We don't care nothing about. Listen, women don't even want to watch women do it. But then they came over there and they said, but we want to talk about what y'all doing on y'all court. Ain't a woman picking up a basketball on that court. We don't want to see Lisa Leslie talk about it. I don't want to see Candace Parker. I don't want to see any of you. There is just one thing that we ask y'all is to please be thankful that you even in the door in the first place. Let's continue.
Now, when it comes to him, it's all over the place. That is my issue. That is my only issue.
I appreciate that clarification. And I think that getting back to Molly's initial question, that is what stood out to me from the press conference. My reaction to the press conference, and I appreciate you clarifying that, Stephen A., is that the only thing that was made clear to me in this is that we are missing a key piece of information here. That is my reaction to the press conference.
I'll tell you the exact key piece of information that we're missing. The white woman's name officially in a Celtics presser that is telling us who and what, where, why, and how she decided to arch her back and get at Gawk 3000 to that man of steel. That's the only thing we missing from the Celtics organization. Shout out to Natasha, my girl from Canada, says, from an ex-journalist, sometimes the play with women on sports desk is to put in time and then leverage a mainstream newscaster position by any means necessary. See will she'll end up at next summer. That is a very good point. That is a great point. And Natasha is the best, one of the best. This is, for example, one of the women that I talk about as far as some of the most powerful women that I have around me. Natasha is irreplaceable. Irreplaceable. Sweet online, sweet inside of the Patreon, sweet inside of the Discord, and sweet in real life. Yes, me and Natasha from Canada linked up out there in LA. Shout out to my baby girl, Natasha. Brock says, pass a love offering. Thank you for holding me down, Proc. Moses Prop says, in the words of Jesse Lee Peterson, I'm not going to say it. Woman gotta write it like it's because it's on YouTube. Listen, we about to play another one. I got something else for y'all. So she came afterwards, right? And she decided that, okay, you know what? It wasn't enough for Stephen A. Smith to put me in my place because Stephen A. Smith didn't even really put her in her place like he was supposed to be. Evil, nasty, dirty. Shout out to Moses Props is in the building. Beta. That's my shout out to my dog Jesse Lee Peterson. We got a collab coming too. I'm everywhere. All right, but let's continue. All right. I'm gonna share a video of her having a conversation with Kendrick Perkins. Yes, we are leaving no stone unturned on this Monday, September 26, 2022 day. We are going to get all the way into it. Let's continue.
One thing, Zach, that you touched on was just this gross focus on identifying unnecessarily women's names.
First of all, we're going to rewind this and we're going to play it in its entirety. However, do not let a chick that is pretty, that got good hair and then got those baby hairs, Because, fellas, I'm telling you, they will finesse you out of your socks and be sassy and nasty as they want to. Because everybody was so enamored with her baby hairs and nobody actually put her in her place. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. Man, if you don't put these chicks in their place just because they put a little bit of rose on their cheeks, you think that, man, don't let that chick talk to you like that. Take your spot. Own that. Just because she pretty, don't mean that she witty. Just because she pretty don't mean that she witty, big dog. See past them baby hairs and them arched eyebrows. Don't let her trick you out of your socks, big dog. Control the narrative, all right? Black Tube says, the mistress will probably do it again and still have her job. Facts. Aaron also says, WNBA players got tables of malt liquor at the club. Mr. 76, thank you for the 2-ball. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for holding me down. Let's go ahead. Let's rewind it because we want to get it in her entirety and we want to look at this and have a conversation objectively about what it is that she's saying here.
Well, one thing, Zach, that you touched on was just this gross focus on identifying unnecessarily women's names that may or may not be involved. And I think it is it isn't too harsh to say that that was a failure by many people, including folks within our own industry. And Brad Stevens actually addressed that today. I want everyone to take a listen.
We have a lot of talented women in our organization. And
I can't take it. We already simping. Brad, don't ever trust a man named Brad. Brad is already simping. Mr. Chambers says, we see what happened in the Garden of Eden. Even God don't like simps. God told Adam, listen, you gave in to the demands of your chick. She ain't even respecting you when she out here talking to serpents. You got your chick over there start talking to serpents, eating out of their mouth, and then you ate out of it. Boy, that's what God talked. If God didn't say that to Adam, then show me the scripture where he said something otherwise. All right? Jesus Christ.
And I thought yesterday was really hard on them. And
oh, Jesus.
I think
not crying for women.
You know, nobody can control Twitter speculation and rampant.
I don't want to see no man getting his panties in a bunch because a woman that decided to get that Gawk 3000 to that strong black man is destroyed. Stop it, Brad.
But I do think that we as an organization have a responsibility to make sure we're there to support them now, because a lot of people were dragged unfairly into that.
I want to bring in our NBA analyst, Kendrick Perkins, into this conversation because, Perk, you played for the Celtics organization.
Look at Perk.
What were your thoughts on...
Look at Perk's face. Hey, Perk ain't come to play no games. Get him, Perk. Get him, Perk. Get him, Perk. Get him, Perk.
This message here.
Well, one, to me, I didn't like Brad comments on this, and let me explain why. Not the fact that he was taking up and protecting the women in the organization, but you know, he said about the speculations and the Twitter BS and things to that nature, and how unfair it was to the women in the organization that is not involved with this particular situation.
The key word is the only women that this is unfair to is the women that's not involved in the situation, meaning that if you are catching the shrapnel, which we then have to hold that white woman even more responsible for even putting her coworkers in a line of fire. If you are one of the women catching the shrapnel as a result of this white woman from the mountain of Caucasus looking to take down her mandingo, if you are one of the people that is catching the shrapnel, you should be pissed at her for even bringing that type of heat when you was just trying to come in and do your job. You wasn't checking for Ime, but she was inside of the parking lot, allegedly. And so as a result, she brought all this undue heat. And the only people that should be absolved as far as women inside of the organizations is the ones that didn't deserve the visibility in the first place because they wasn't doing anything. However, let's continue, Perk.
And I get that, right? But why is it speculations? It's speculations because of the reports that were put out by the actual Boston Celtics.
So are you telling me, Perk, that this man sitting up here, you know how when you used to get a whooping when you was a little kid, at least when we used to get whoopings when we was a little kid, and we couldn't stop sniffling because we was trying to stop crying, and our mama kept saying, boy, if you let one more tear come out of your mouth, you better shut up and try to make sure that you're good in front of company. And then you used to be like this. And then I was thinking to myself, well, if you hit me again, you're going to release more tears. You're doing more damage than you're doing help to me. You're doing more damage by continuing to whoop me when I'm trying to get control of my tears. God, Lord, bless me to get through this live stream in one piece. In Jesus' name. All right. Oh, that's what's wrong with a lot of these kids today. They didn't get disciplined in the way that I got disciplined. And so as a result, they don't have any kind of structure. They don't have any kind of morals and integrity because they didn't get the type of whoopings that I got when I was younger. Yeah, I'm going to give you something to really cry about. I'm going to give you something to really cry about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to cry? Oh, you want to cry? Let Stephen A. have his conversation. I mean, Kendrick Perkins, and we're going to come back to that.
They didn't do a great job from the jump of actually protecting the women in their organization because knowing that they were going to sit up here and give out this information and go out here and suspend Ime Udoka and talk about just give a little details, it's going to have people speculating.
Yep.
And in my eyes, I feel like the Boston Celtics dropped the ball not only in protecting their entire franchise, but in protecting the women as well. They should have made sure that they crossed their T's and dotted their I's before they put this information out. And I get it. Now we're to this point, and now he had to go on here and he had to say this and he had to say that to protect those innocent women. But at the end of the day, man, it just ain't right how they went about it. The word
facts. Meaning, listen. If you were going to drop it out there and first say, A, we're suspending them. B, this is why we're suspending them. C, you don't have your stuff airtight. And then D, if you are not completing the process by putting the period or the exclamation point on whatever it is that you're releasing by also holding the woman accountable so that you can then remove the speculation from us and the media at large from trying to figure out and determine who it was that did all of the transgressions in the first place, then you are not protecting the people in your organization, including the women. So don't get up here and start sitting up here crying and whining about it because it is your fault, A, Ime's fault, B, and then this hat woman that is still having her job, that's hanging out from the mountains of Caucasus and not doing what she's supposed to do. Who's to say that this chick won't sleep with somebody else? Who's to say that it hasn't happened before? We don't know. All we can do is speculate because you gave us a half-cocked accountability story that tried to make yourself look good. In reality, you had a lot more going on than you're willing to admit, and you don't want to tell the full story because you're trying to protect somebody. I wonder why.
Accountability, okay? Accountability doesn't just go to Ime Udoka, okay? Accountability goes to the other people that played a part in that as well. Let me tell you another thing I didn't like about my good friend Wick Grossbeck and Brad Stevens in this press conference when they asked, is anybody else going to be punished? And they said no.
How much more do we have to say? They asked who was there anybody else that was going to be punished, and they said no. So, what is the way? And I'm gonna let Perk finish, and I'm gonna go through what her response is. What is the way in which you can ensure the downfall of your household, your community, and more important, the United States of America? I'm gonna read the super chats. I'm coming to y'all. What is the way in which we can ensure the downfall of your community, your household, and the United States of America? Is to enable by not highlighting and giving equal smoke and accountability to all of those that are involved. You're enabling bad behavior. Perk just said it at the press conference. They asked, was anybody else going to be held accountable for their actions? And they said no. So are you telling me, if it's a lie, they told it. Are you telling me that the only person that is punished in a consensual relationship in which everybody's families was destroyed and everybody had a target and a bullseye on their back, and then Nia Long is over there crying in a corner talking about self-love and self-care on Instagram, please respect my privacy? Are you telling me that the only person that suffers in this situation is Ime Udoka and Nia Long and the families and the sons? Are you telling me that we are not to hold allegedly this woman from the mountains of Caucasus accountable for her actions also? Because we protect women at all costs, even if they were contributing members to whatever it is that's destructive across the league, even in the off season. We was trying to talk about, and I was having conversations about how trash Kyrie Irving is in real life. No, but now I got to sit here and talk about Ime Udoka. I didn't even know how to pronounce this man's name. And now his entire life is ruined. Everything he worked for ever in his life is ruined. And you're telling me that equal accountability does not extend across the board because she's a woman? Wow. And then there's no better way to protect a woman from the mountain of Caucasus than to have a black woman to have her back. Let's continue.
And my whole thing is this, right? These are some of the facts that have been out. These are some facts that I know that, you know, this relationship, one of these relationships that was had with Ime Udoka and one of these women, it was consensual, meaning that this woman actually played a part in it too. So
Preach. See, Perk did what Stephen A. didn't. Perk did what Stephen A. didn't. He said, listen, the organization said it was consensual. If it was a bomb that was launched, they both had their hand on the trigger at the same time. They both launched it in the air at the same time. What we talking about? See, this is the part that everybody forgets to bring to the front of the congregation, because by the time that we determine that this thing is important, everybody has moved on to a new story. Not today. Not in my church. Not in this tabernacle. Yo. If y'all want to support me, if y'all want to hold me down because you said Anton is absolutely positively killing it every single day on the Millionaire Morning Show, make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. At the very least, a like is free. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. We are going up this morning. Let's get it.
So my thing is, yes, Ime Udoka was wrong. We get that. His punishment, he deserved that, and whatever else follows, I hate it for him, but he put himself in this position. But why are the other people getting left off the hook?
Well,
that's the problem that I have. Right.
Look at her. Look at her. She can't help herself. She's so used to interrupting men and stepping in with her baby hairs to say what she wants to say when she wants to say it in a sport that she should be happy to even be a spectator in. She is so used to interrupting men and doing what she wants to do, and there's no better way to protect another woman, specifically a white woman, than to get a black woman that has your back. Than to get that one that is not even listening to understand, but is listening to respond, which is why she's calling his name in the middle of his statement. Don't call me Kendrick. You call me Mr. Perkins. You call me Mr. Put some respect on my name.
Right now,
Kendrick,
everybody got to be held accountable.
Kendrick, I think that we need to circle back to what Shanae said, is that there was a
Look at the white man.
investigation that was conducted by an independent law firm here.
Kendrick Perkins is on an island by himself. He's outnumbered. He has 4 feminists on this panel. 4 feminists on this panel. Kendrick, we support you. We love you, big dog. We rock with you. You got a man on the left who is quick to nod his head before he even understand what it is that she's saying in response to what he's saying. Look at the man's, y'all not paying attention. Look at the man on the left's body language before she ever has any really relevant statement come out of her mouth. Watch what he does.
That was conducted by, and Shanae said.
Right now,
Kendrick,
everybody got to be held accountable.
Kendrick, I think that we need to circle back to what Shanae said, is that there was a...
What is he nodding for? What is he nodding for? Either somebody is telling him something in his ear or he's agreeing with what she's saying. Now, as we continue, look at the woman right next to him. Look at her response when she's talking.
Investigation that was conducted by an...
Why is she nodding her head? Why is she nodding her head? And let me tell you what's happening with the guy on the left. They're all in the studio together, and Kendrick Perkins is the only person that's not in studio. So when he's nodding his head, he's actually nodding his head at her. He's looking at her and nodding his head in agreement because they're all in the studio together. And then you have the woman that is right next to her nodding in agreement also. Kendrick is alone in this, but not when it comes to Anton from AntonDaniels.com. Anton is paying attention. Anton pays attention to all of the nuances and the details because I can see what people are communicating even when they don't open up their mouth.
Independent law firm here, and without, I think that transparency is what will rule the day here. And so without having all of the information, it is unfair and irresponsible of us to go and to speculate on that, because what we have to...
Well, I'm not speculating.
Sure.
I have the information. I'm not...
Ooh, Kendrick said, listen, I not only have the information, I also played for the organization, and I have all of the info because I am tightly connected and I know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not speculating. I know what I know. He said, listen, this ain't Gossip Girls over here, baby girl with the baby hairs. This ain't Gossip Girls over here. But I got the information. Do you want the information? And this is how her response goes.
I speculate.
But what we have to go with here is the fact that an independent law firm came in, did this investigation, and the facts that they were presented, they came to the conclusion that Ime Udoka violated a policy that warranted a 1-year suspension. And I share your frustration with the lack of transparency while...
Cap. And this is why the sister code, and I'm going to just be very, very, very transparent here. This is why the sister code needs to be destroyed. Women that stay on code with other women are only enabling other women to destroy their own households. Women that stay on code with other women only continue, in the words of my dog Logic, harbor terrorists. They are harboring... Yo, I'm cooking up this morning. I am cooking up a steak dinner this morning. They're harboring and enabling bad behavior. If this was an all-men show, this would be completely different. But no, we have to have 2 women leading the panel and having a discussion and a simp. I don't know what Woj was thinking. He was stone-faced out there. He was just like a killer. This is why you can't have women leading men's sports. Listen, so did he do it by himself? Do I need an independent law firm to tell me the clause in his contract? What does that result? Does that absolve you from your ability to be a responsible human being? He didn't do it by himself. The organization said it was a consensual relationship. I don't need Meyer, and Myers to come over here and tell me anything other than exactly what it is that the organization. What you talking about? He didn't get that gawk. He pulled his pants down, and she the one that was. He made her spit on it. That's all he did. All he did was say, "Yo, spit on it." Oh my God. Let me see what else this feminist got to say.
Understanding that there is some things that they need to, from a legal perspective, keep private, but knowing all of that, understanding all of that, we have to come to the conclusion that whatever rule, the conduct that was broken on one side, it is not the same on the other side. I thank you for your perspective.
This chick said, whatever. Did y'all hear what she literally just ended this with? She said, whatever rule or the conduct that was broken on one side was not equally broken on the other side. I thought that's what we advocated for, equal in this country, right? Equal rights. Equal does not mean absolved from responsibility. What are you talking about? If you want to be equal, then you got to be equal all the way. So she get to tear up a family and we don't even have no conversation about that? We supposed to only talk about Ime? So, all right. Let me get this straight. Are you telling me that she get to break up a whole family and we don't even question it at all? Women, y'all not mad at that? It's y'all families that's getting broken up. You don't want to know nothing at all? At all. Let me read the super chats. You know, I got to put on my glasses to read the super chats because I've been cooking all day long. Shout out to Black Tube, said them baby hairs is just covering up them edges. She lost. Y'all a mess. Ray Lewis says she give me big forehead energy. Centennial G says Anton, word is Celtics leadership consultant Farrakhan about the value of a woman. You know what? I might have that. I think I might have brought that clip with me. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find. With Farrakhan, how do you feel about this whole situation? I'm curious.
I want to tell you something.
Okay.
My teacher, your teacher, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the only heaven for man is found in a woman.
We're not gonna listen. He gonna tell you the truth. Before, if y'all want to hear the end of what the minister had to say and why we protect women so bad, y'all gonna have to hold on. Let me read the rest of the super chats. Let me get the rest of the super chats, and we're gonna get to the end of the minister. Silver Lion says, let's keep this a buck. This is a female-male issue, less an issue of race when it comes to white man gets caught up in the extracurricular. Men are not trying to destroy a marriage if we slip up and get caught. I could rock with that. Spacer says she about 3 strands away from a man bun. Aaron said Perk came out with the people's eyebrow. I don't know if I did that right. Marcel says they probably trying to protect the husband from embarrassment. Nia Long ain't get protected though. So why didn't they protect Nia Long in the same way that they protected the husband? No worries. They're probably trying to protect the husband from embarrassment and her from being targeted as a home wrecker if it's the VP's wife. Antoine Wade said they sat on this info for quite some time. What a PR nightmare. I agree. Lil Shirley. What up, Lil Shirley says, how is this woman not going to face any consequences? She caused the irreparable damage. Agreed. Mel Duke says, didn't protect people in the organization from the shrapnel, and the bomb didn't hit everyone that was involved by saying no one else will be accountable. How is everyone else supposed to act in the organization now? That they can do whatever they want to do? Larry Walker says, Anton, you cooking today. Water whipping, boy. Water whipping. We turning that soft into hard today, Larry. Yeah. Trail Fast says, thank God I'm fully remote. Anton is wilding out in these streets. Facts, I agree. Marcel says, she said, period. No, listen. This is what she said. Period, Pooh. Period, Pooh. Moses Prop says, and this is why they never, I'm going to throw the never in there. This is why they never should not have women on these type of networks. They are out of place. Real men lead. And these hat guys letting this go is crazy. Y'all know that white men are the biggest simps? That is a fact. My girl, Beautiful Disaster says, Anton, just get to the burning question we all want to know. What gel is the chick using? I want to get my baby hairs right because I'm a fool. Beautiful Disaster, you already know you are gorgeous in real life. Gorgeous in real life. All right, so let me see. Silent Sniper says, the funny thing is, some women be ready to go at the side chick's head when it's their situation, but when it's someone else's situation, the man is fully to blame. Facts, Silent Sniper. I am 100% in your camp. Pastor, I can tell your chill button is broken. It don't even work no more. You know how when the buttons pop off completely? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Jay Taylor said allegedly one of the starting five told, ooh, was it Jalen? Is Jalen jealous of Jason? Or is it Marcus? Marcus? I don't know. Allegedly, one of the starting five told. The coach was told to stop, and he kept approaching her in public and calling her. What? Tell me, it better not be Marcus. Couldn't Marcus just win Defensive Player of the Year? It better not be Marcus. Jeffrey Woodland said the infamous no gag reflex. If you see, listen, I know this is a morning show, but if you see a woman go, that's a Patreon exclusive. I'm going to give y'all a whole different set of content for that one. That is a Patreon exclusive. Let's see what the minister got to say about women. What is the minister?
Now you want to go to heaven.
Amen. Amen. Hallelujah.
And you don't even have to die.
What do you gotta do?
You just got to find you a woman.
All right. Okay, listen. The minister said, all I gotta find me is a woman. Shout out to Practical Absolutes. He says, let's hit the like button, family. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank you for tapping into the Millionaire Morning Show. I will be back tomorrow, same time, 11:30 Eastern, 10:30 Central. What is that? 8:30 Pacific. Let's go 9:30 Mountain. You know what I'm saying? We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for everybody that continues to hold us down. Make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm on your way out the door. More importantly, tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with us here at Anton from AntonDaniels.com. We're going to do it the same thing tomorrow. Dallas, DM me. Hit me up. Follow me on Instagram and tap in with me and tell me, say, Anton, this is where you need to go and hang out with your people tonight. We in the streets. We getting it popping. I love y'all. I'm appreciating y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.